Hello students, in today's video I will discuss the following topics. First topic is electrical resistivity and conductivity, temperature dependence of resistance and resistivity. After watching this video, you will be able to understand the concept of electrical resistivity and conductivity, and also the effect of temperature on resistance and resistivity of metallic conductors, semiconductors, alloys. So let us start. First topic is resistivity or specific resistance. We know that resistance of a conductor is directly proportional to length of conductor, and it is also inversely proportional to area of cross section of a conductor, and combining these two factors we can write R is proportional to L upon A, and this proportionality sign is replaced by a constant of proportionality, and that constant of proportionality is known as resistivity or specific resistance of a conductor. Now, in order to define the resistivity, first of all we have to find the value of this resistivity from this formula, that is resistivity of a conductor will be equal to resistance area of cross section divided by L. Now we have to write the units. Units of resistivity is equal to units of resistance, area of cross section, and length of a conductor. We know that length of conductor is measured in meter, area of cross section is meter square. Then resistance of a conductor becomes equal to resistivity, means by putting these values in this relation we will get R is equal to rho, or we can write rho is equal to R, that is resistivity is equal to resistance. Now we can define it into two ways. One is it is the resistance offered by the unit cube of materials of the conductor. Unit cube means we can define it in other way also, that is resistivity of a material is equal to resistance of that material whose length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square. Means if we are considering length of a material 1 meter and area of cross section 1 meter square, then in that situation resistance of that material will be equal to resistivity. For example, if we have to find the resistivity of copper, then we have to take a copper wire of length 1 meter and also its area of cross section, that is also is equal to 1 meter square. Then the resistance of this copper wire whose length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square, then that resistance will be equal to resistivity of this copper. Similarly, if we have to find the resistivity of aluminium, then we have to consider the aluminium rod having length 1 meter and area of cross section is equal to 1 meter square. Then the resistance of this aluminium wire whose length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square, then that resistance is known as resistivity of aluminium. It means resistivity of material depends upon the nature of material. It is different for different material. It will be different for copper and aluminium also, but it is independent on the dimensions. Dimensions means it will not vary with the length as well as area of cross section, because in definition we are considering resistivity is that resistance of a given material whose length is 1 meter, area of cross section is 1 meter square, means dimensions are fixed. So resistivity of material will not change with length as well as area of cross section. It is independent on the dimension. Now come to the units of resistivity. Units of resistivity we can find from this formula. Rho is equal to RA upon L. units of resistance is ohm, unit of area of cross section is meter square, length is meter. That is, we can write rho is equal to ohm meter square upon meter. ये cancel हो जाएगा. Then we can write it as ohm meter. So unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Next, resistivity or specific resistance. Resistivity will decide which material is used as a conductor and insulator. Depending upon the resistivity of a material, we can select the material as a conductor or insulator. Means we have to decide which material is a good conductor or which material is a good insulator depending upon the value of its resistivity. Now for conductors, a good conductor has low resistance of 1 meter length and 1 meter square area of cross section, that is low resistivity. Conductor will be a good conductor whose resistivity will be low. Resistivity low means it has low resistance of 1 meter length and 1 meter square area of cross section. So current will be more. If resistance is low, then current will be high, then that will be the good conductor. So those materials will be a good conductor if they have low resistivity. Secondly, for insulator, a good insulator has high resistance of 1 meter length and 1 meter square area of cross section, that is resistivity is high. Resistivity high means this material has high resistance of 1 meter length and 1 meter square area of cross section, so that will act as a good insulator. So in this way, with the help of resistivity, we can decide which material will act as a good conductor or good insulator. This table shows the value of resistivity of different materials like conductors. These are all conductors whose resistivity is of the order of 10⁻⁸. Then lyles, that is resistivity is shown as the table. Insulator has resistivity high as compared to conductors and lyles. Now we have to find the dependence of resistance on temperature. In order to find the dependence of a resistance on temperature, we know that relation between current and drift velocity is I is equal to NEA VD, where N is the number density, number of free electrons in a conductor per unit volume, E is charge on the electrons, A is the area of cross section of a conductor, and VD is drift velocity of electrons. Also, this equation is equation number 1. Also, we know that drift velocity is equal to E tau divided by m, where E is again charge, m is mass, E is electric field, and this is known as relaxation time. Relaxation time is the time between two successive collision of electrons, free electrons with the atoms. So put the value of drift velocity from equation number 2 in equation number 1. We will get I is equal to NE square AE tau divided by m. Also we know that electric field is equal to potential upon length. Put this value of electric field, I is equal to NE square A V upon Lm into tau. Now rearrange the terms, and we have to arrange in such a way that we have to find the value of resistance. And we know that resistance is equal to V upon I. So here will V and here is I. We have to find the value of V upon I. then V upon I will be equal to Lm divided by Ne square into A into tau. Now this V upon I is equal to resistance, that is R, is equal to M divided by Ne square into tau into L upon A. Equation number 3. Also we know that R is equal to rho L upon A. This equation number 4. Compare equation number 3 and 4. This is the resistance, and resistance L upon A. So this term, that is resistivity, will be equal to this term. Therefore we can write it as resistivity rho will be equal to M divided by Ne square into tau. From here it is found that resistivity is inversely proportional to relaxation time depending upon mass, number density and charge. We know that mass and charge on electron remains constant, number density suppose remains constant, therefore resistivity is inversely proportional to relaxation time. From this formula we can explain how the resistance of a conductor and resistivity of a conductor varies with temperature. Let us discuss this point. Temperature dependence of resistance. R is equal to M upon Ne square tau L by A. From here R is inversely proportional to relaxation time. If we increase the temperature, then thermal energy or internal energy of free electrons will also increase. Due to increase in energy, collision between free electrons and the atom will also increase. Because of the increase in collision, resistance also increase. That is, for conductors, when temperature increases, the number of collision increases due to the more internal energy, and relaxation time will decrease. Collision will increase, that is, collision becomes fast, so the time between two successive collision will decrease, and R is inversely proportional to relaxation time. If relaxation time decrease, then resistance will increase. So with increase in temperature, resistance of conductor will also increase. That is the effect of temperature on resistance of conductor. Next is conductivity. Conductivity is the reciprocal of resistivity. It is denoted by sigma, and sigma is equal to 1 by rho. We know that unit of rho is ohm meter, so unit of conductivity is 1 by ohm meter or mho per meter or Siemens per meter. Also we know that rho is equal to M upon Ne square upon tau. Therefore sigma will be equal to Ne square tau divided by M. That is the reciprocal of resistivity. Next is temperature dependence of resistance. How the resistance of different materials like metals, semiconductors, insulators depends upon the temperature. In order to find this relation, we have to write the relation between resistance and the temperature. That is, suppose R1 is a resistance of a material at a temperature T1 degree centigrade, and R2 is a resistance of same material at a temperature T2 degree centigrade. Now T2 is greater than T1, that is, we are increasing the temperature. Now the change in resistance, that is R2 minus R1, will depends upon two factors. First is it is directly proportional to change in temperature, means how much temperature is changing from T1 to T2. Second point, change in resistance also depends upon original resistance, that is resistance at temperature T1. By combining these two factors, R2 minus R1 will be proportional to T2 minus T1 into R1. From here, this proportionality sign can be converted into equality. R2 minus R1 will be equal to alpha, where alpha is constant of proportionality, and this is known as temperature coefficient of resistance. From here we can find the value of alpha. Therefore, alpha will be equal to R2 minus R1 divided by R1 into T2 minus T1. This alpha is known as temperature coefficient of resistance. From here we can find whether the resistance of given material will increase or decrease depending upon the value of alpha with increase in or change in temperature. Units of alpha is equal to, this is the resistance, so unit is ohm, divided by again resistance, unit is ohm, and temperature unit is degree centigrade or Kelvin. Then ohm and ohm cancel each other, that will becomes equal to degree minus 1 or Kelvin minus 1. So unit of alpha is Kelvin inverse or degree centigrade inverse. And it is also defined from this equation, temperature coefficient of resistance is equal to change in resistance per unit original resistance per degree rise in temperature. How much resistance will change for 1 degree rise in temperature, that is known as temperature coefficient of resistance. Now from this formula we will discuss how the increase or change in temperature will affect the resistance of a conductor. And one more point I want to add here, that is temperature coefficient of resistivity. According to this formula, similarly we can write alpha bar, that is equal to rho 2 minus rho 1 divided by rho 1 into T2 minus T1. Here this alpha bar is known as temperature coefficient of resistivity. And unit is again same, that is degree centigrade minus 1 or Kelvin minus 1. Now we will discuss alpha and alpha bar side by side, that is effect of temperature on metals, semiconductors, conductors, insulators, on resistance and resistivity. First if we will discuss metallic conductor. Temperature dependence of resistance and resistivity. First of all, for metallic conductor, if we increase the temperature, if temperature increases, as we have already discussed, resistance is inversely proportional to relaxation time, and also resistivity rho is also inversely proportional to relaxation time. Now if we increase the temperature, number of collision per second will also increase because of the increase in energy of free electrons, and because of increase in collision, that is number of collisions are increasing, so the relaxation time will decrease. If relaxation time decrease, then resistance of a conductor and resistivity of conductor will increase, because resistance and resistivity are inversely proportional to relaxation time. So we can say resistance and resistivity of metallic conductor will increase with increase in temperature. Means resistivity of metallic conductors directly proportional to temperature. Second is alloy. Alloys are mostly independent on the change in temperature. For example, nichrome. Which is made up of nickel and chromium, and it has a weak temperature dependence. That is resistivity of these materials. Second example we can take here, that is manganese. Resistivity of these materials is almost independent on change in temperature. That is why standard resistance coils are made up of alloys, nichrome wire, because when we use resistance coils in lab for experiments, with flow of the current, temperature increase. With increase in temperature, if resistivity or resistance will vary, then we cannot find the accurate value of during the experiment. So standard resistance are made up of alloys because reason is that resistivity is weak dependence on temperature. That is weak temperature dependence. Next is semiconductors and insulators. For semiconductors and insulator, if we increase the temperature, with the increase in temperature of semiconductors, number of free electrons will be generated, or number of free electrons will increase. With increase in number of free electrons, the conductivity, resistivity of semiconductors and insulators will decrease. With increase in temperature, number of free electrons will increase, that is N will increase. With increase in N, resistivity will decrease, because resistivity is inversely proportional to number density, and it also decreases exponentially. Semiconductor and insulator behaves in the same way when we consider the effect of temperature. With increase in temperature, number of free electrons increases in conductors. With increase in number of free electrons, resistivity will decrease. Therefore, we have discussed that resistivity and resistance of a conductor will increase with increase in temperature. For semiconductor and insulator, it will decrease with increase in temperature. So resistivity is inversely proportional to temperature here. Next is, at the end of this video, we will recapitulate what we have studied today. First is, resistivity rho is independent on dimensions, that is length of a conductor and area of cross section of a conductor. It only depends upon the nature of material. It is independent on these because resistivity is equal to resistance of a conductor whose length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square. This is fixed, so there is no change in resistivity with change in dimensions. Second point, resistivity of conductor directly proportional to temperature. If we increase the temperature, resistivity of conductor will also increase, and graphically it is represented as, if we are taking along y-axis resistivity, along x-axis temperature, then graph for conductor will be like this. Third point, for resistivity of semiconductors is inversely proportional to temperature. So if we plot the graph for the resistivity of versus the temperature for semiconductors and insulators, then graph will be decreasing. That is like this. Exponentially it will decrease. And last point, if we consider for Loyal, then resistivity is almost independent on temperature. So for magnet wire, graph for resistivity and temperature will be like this. Fifth point, depending upon the value of the resistivity, we decide which material behaves as a good conductor and good insulator. For example, conducting copper wire. This is suppose copper wire, and this wire is insulated by rubber, covered by rubber, because this conductor will allow maximum current to flow. So resistivity of this conductor must be low. And insulator, this rubber wire which is used to insulate this wire, that should have high resistivity so that current should not flow outside. That's all for today's video. Thank you.